I love that. That's their little thing. We have Damien Woody here with us on SportsCenter. You see the final score behind us, and I know a lot of people are shocked to see that right now because the Commanders went into Detroit, took down the #1 seed in the NFC, 45-31, and at times it looked easy.
I feel like there was a point in time where you were like, if there's one team in the NFC I don't want to see right now, it might be the Commanders, and here is why. 14 wins in the regular season. That's what we were expecting of the Lions. The road to the playoff, or the road to the Super Bowl went through Detroit, and the Commanders went in there tonight and just absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Let me tell you something. Jayden Daniels is a stone-cold killer.
He's legit, man. He's legit.
Like, the Detroit Lions blitzed Jayden Daniels on half of his dropbacks. I mean, he completed 12 of 16. I mean, nothing fazed him.
Unfazed, unbothered. I've been calling that all year.
Which is basically the opposite of what was happening with Jared Goff.
Yeah, clearly Jared Goff was, flustered. There was some pressure, but more importantly, some of the passes that Jared Goff was throwing seemed forced. There were a couple of those interceptions. They were forced where he had easy check downs, outlet receivers, and he just kept throwing the ball, trying to push the ball down the field unnecessarily. Yeah. So you could just look at both quarterbacks and see, okay, who's the veteran and who's the rookie?
Right. And, Briscoe made a good point earlier. She said that one team you probably don't want to play right now is the Commanders because they're playing with house money.
So much
they're not supposed to be here anyway, right? And they get into a very relaxed situation, and it felt like it was the Lions who were feeling the pressure of the moment despite being the #1 seed.
I said in the green room with the Washington Commanders, sometimes you play a team, they don't know what they don't know. Like, you look at the Washington Commanders, no one expected the Washington Commanders to be in this situation.
Not even them when the year started.
Exactly, but you know what? When you have a quarterback like Jayden Daniels, that confidence permeates all throughout the team. On offense, on defense, everyone just knows. Because I play with a quarterback like that, Tom Brady, where you just know going into every game, we should win. We got a chance to win because of the guy that we have at the quarterback position.
And that's exactly.
First off, congratulations. First time Washington has made the NFC Championship since the 1991 season. You told me this week we were not coming in here as underdogs.
Yeah.
What can you say about this game?
Well, first of all, glory to God, obviously. But just a special season. Obviously, strong group of guys. And just a team win. Honestly, all three phases came together. And it took every point that we had to score just because they're such a good team, that team. I was with them for 5 days last year, a long stint. But overall, I got such respect for what they do. So many good players, so many good people. And we just came out here and played our game. We didn't fret the environment. We knew it was going to be loud. But when you got a guy like Jayden, we got all the confidence in the world. We're going to figure it out.
We overuse the word poise and composure with him. Yeah. Today, he seemed to be on a different level. Talk to me about the Jayden that you saw today against this team, the #1 seed in the NFC.
I mean, honestly, it's the same guy. You guys could say that it's a different Jayden, but to us, it's the same guy every week. Same guy since he showed up in Washington and Virginia with us. Just a guy that loves the process, that's all about the team, doesn't care what it looks like, doesn't care if he has to throw the ball 50 times or we run the ball 50 times or he has to run the ball 50 times. And so for us, it's just the ultimate confidence that no matter what's going on, he's going to figure out, we're going to figure it out, and we're just going to make one more play than the other team.
Up next, either the Eagles or the Rams. What are your thoughts? Do you guys care who you're facing? Do you have a preference?
I'm just glad we have 8 days to recover. I'm not feeling too great right now. My ribs are a little beat up, but overall, just to be able to just sit back tomorrow and watch the game with no agenda, enjoy the day off, but be ready to get my body right, get the team right, focused for whoever we play. And to us, it doesn't matter. Obviously, 2 really good teams, and we're going to have to bring our A game to compete with either of them.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Kimberly.
All right, Damien Woody still with us here. I want to start with the Lions. Look, we got all week now to talk about the Commanders going to the NFC Championship game for the first time since the 1991 season. Look, what Dan Campbell's done in Detroit completely changed the culture there. And when you change the culture, you have success, you also change your expectations, right? So now they're in a position where #1 seed, they had a great year last year. They're supposed to go to the Super Bowl in their mind this season. They did not clearly reach that goal. What is that like when you're playing with different sets of expectations than your history does not suggest?
When you lose games like this, they stick with you more than the big ones. And I know there has to be tremendous disappointment in that Detroit Lions locker room because you work all season long to get that number one seed. Think about it. It went down to week 18 against their division rival, against the Minnesota Vikings, to earn a #1 seed. And then your first game out of the box after the bye, the Washington Commanders come to your house and beat you down.
Yes.
They beat them down in your home stadium. So that's the type of loss that's going to sting for a while.
When you look at what that team did do, though, yes, they were the 1 seed. Yes, this is a disappointing loss, and there were issues with turnovers tonight. But that team is incredibly beaten up. I mean, they lost players tonight too. Do you ever look at that and point to that and be
I don't use that as an excuse.
No?
I don't use it like. That's going to be like the one thing I'm telling people: don't you dare, nope,
Don't go there.
Don't do it, because you know what? Everyone's hurt. And I know the Detroit Lions had a lot of guys banged up and out on the defensive side, but no one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares.
And they still got the #1 seed with those injuries, too.
Right.
It's hard to get to this point in the season and not have a team that isn't injured or beat.
Right. I mean, listen, you beat down the Minnesota Vikings to get the #1 seed. Like, no one's going to feel sorry for you. No one cares. Washington came into Ford Field with a rookie quarterback and dismantled the Detroit Lions, the #1 seed. Think about this. The Washington Commanders are 1 game away from being in the Super Bowl.
Right. I know. I'm laughing because it doesn't make sense based on their recent history. But again, the turnaround that this franchise has had in less than 2 years is nothing short of remarkable. From the ownership to the coaching staff and obviously to the starting quarterback.
Yeah, listen, I grew up a Washington Commanders fan. And so, you know, it's a proud franchise, a lot of great history, obviously a lot of lean years under the Daniel Snyder era as the owner. But to see new ownership, new coach, and obviously the quarterback reinvigorate that fan base, it's just nothing short of spectacular.
We'll have plenty more post-game coming up. We'll hear from those guys as well. But when you watch Jayden Daniels play, and you've watched him evolve throughout the season, like they talked about the poise, they talked about the confidence, what are words that you would use to describe him at this moment?
Killer. Just, I mean, he's I would pay money to go watch him play. He is that exciting, that fantastic. How many guys? I was talking. I was talking to Booman in the green room. I said I've never seen anything like that come into the league. What we've seen from Jayden Daniels this year, and up to this point.
Yeah.
I mean, the poise that this young man has is unparalleled. You don't usually see rookies. Nothing phases him.
Nothing.
You don't see rookies play at the level he's playing ever.
And here's the deal. Like, we're even comparing him to Patrick Mahomes in that regard. Like, Mahomes has been great since he first became a starter in Kansas City. He didn't start his rookie year, but he didn't have the same type of poise. He had ability, but just the presence is different with Jayden Daniels. It's kind of hard to describe unless you've kind of, played sports a lot.
His pulse is like this.
Yeah.
And even he describes it as that way. Like, it's ho-hum. It's just no matter what the play is, it's just another play. It doesn't matter if the game is on the line.
It's impressive to
You know,
watch.
you know what? We talk it. A lot of people talk it. He shows it.
Yeah.
He shows it.
All right, we got